Welcome to another episode of the DorkLair live stream. We got Chris here with us. Where's Larry? Where the heck is Larry? We don't know where he is. He's his usual late. He said he's going to be an early night and that he's really going to be tired because he's got to get up early tomorrow. So we'll see if he makes it. I think he's planning to make it, but here he comes.
As you speak.
He's popping in now. His devices are not connected. Let's see if he gets connected here. Anyway, Chris, what's going on, man?
Not much. Yeah, just figured I'd chime in and see what's going on this week. The only thing I've gotten any time recently. Hey, Larry, glad to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Good.
Not much. I'm fighting. I'm fighting a losing battle here.
Nice. But I was just going to say the only thing I got in recently was these are the guys I ordered from the Biblical Adventures.
Oh, nice.
Red Demons.
Red.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on mine to ship. I haven't gotten shipping notification yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think he said he shipped all those out. We should get in touch with him.
There was. He did say too. There was a certain amount of. I mean, I assume you changed your address or something like that, perhaps. There was a certain amount of orders. He's like, I'm holding on to these because I can't get in touch with anyone, and they're not changing. Telling me.
I thought I had gone on there and done all the appropriate changes for address. I guess I'll have to go back and check again.
Yeah,
I will say also, I didn't get a shipping notice. These just showed up. I don't think I got a shipping notice. Maybe there's an email or a tracking number somewhere. But
right.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I'll reach out.
I can message him too. Yeah.
So,
you'd think he would if because he knows you. If he saw your name, maybe he just just like not making.
Yeah,
because now you're.
When was the? Has it been? What's it been?
2 years.
Oh wow, I was at the old address. Well, all my stuff's been changed because I've gotten Kickstarter stuff here since then. Or do you have to go into the individual campaign and check?
It might be backer kit.
Backer, yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll go check.
I will. And I'll shoot him a message.
Okay.
Because I have his cell phone, so
I'm sure it's a simple explanation.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Yours is probably one of those handful.
It's all about me.
How about you, Larry? What do you got in your hands there?
So I've already put the box away. This is MPG 12. This is Shattered Glass Masterpiece Prime.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got this, and I wanted to try to have it done in time for the show, but that obviously did not happen. I was trying to remember all of the transformation steps because I've gotten MPG 44. I got the Nemesis Prime of this. I got the Toy Colors version of this, but these legs are still just they're a booger, and I'm not going to say they have beaten me, but they are beating me. So I'm just going to put that down. But so, we joke about how I always get Optimus Primes, this and that. So that Optimus Prime, I picked up the Studio Series Age of Extinction Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had an opportunity to transform this yet. And, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bay films, but these more recent Studio Series releases, the engineering in them has made them so fun. I kind of can't resist. So I went in and picked that up. But the main big boy for the week is Omega Prime.
Nice.
And his sword. But now I don't know how many folks out there. One, I don't know anyone else in the chat might have backed this Haslab. I don't think anyone has mentioned it, but this came the other day. And there were some issues with early copies that people were getting where they were saying there were issues with the way so you've got two main component pieces. You've got the Fire Convoy and you've got Ultra Magnus. So the Optimus Prime, the Fire Convoy, has two modes. It's got the regular smaller and then the Godfire Convoy where the back end connects to it. And in order for it to connect, you have to extend the torso. Mm-hmm. And you have to do that to either make it Godfire Convoy or to do Omega Prime. And it had been coming. So when it's in the package, when you transform it out of truck mode, the torso is extended. So what was happening is either the right out of the package, there were some of them that right here in the abdomen had a crack, right? And it was because when Hasbro created the internal ratcheting piece for that extension, the piece was too big for the casing piece. And with a lot of these, there was like lubricant that was on the outside. It looked like dried glue, but it was actually wet. There were cracks of various shapes and size in the torso of the Optimus Prime. And then with some people, there was no crack, but then when they compressed it, it would crack. So I got mine and I sent you guys pictures. Luckily, there was no crack out of the package. And then whenever I contracted it and put it into regular Optimus Prime mode, it didn't crack. So, and then I was able to expand it again, put it into Godfire Convoy mode, and then in Omega Prime mode, no issues whatsoever. So I have in my display room, and I've not gotten it down because I want to do some comparison photos. I have the original Omega Prime from 2000. Is it 2000 or 2001 when the RID series was out? It was the series that we had in between Beast Machines and Armada. So we had what we had 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000 was Beast Machines. So this would have been 2001, and then Armada was in 02. So this was kind of a holdover line, and it was Transformers Return to Vehicle alternate modes. And so I've still got a lot of those. Obviously, I kept a hold of all my Primes and Megatrons, but this in and of itself, as far as just height-wise, it's maybe an inch and a half taller than the original. The original was a big, chunky toy, but this is superior in every way. Like, it's amazing. The way that it transforms is virtually identical. All the steps are the same. The way that you combine the hands is the same. I mean, just there's so many things that are the same, but because I'm sure plastic quality, but the way that they put these things together and the engineering, the things they've learned over the years make this 100% a superior version. Number one, the colors are better. They changed some size on some things to make it like the base Optimus Prime figure is his proportions are a little off because his hips and legs are a little bigger, but it's done to support the Godfire Convoy and the Omega Prime modes. And other little things like where you secure the Ultra Magnus pieces onto the Optimus Prime legs to make the super robot. On the old piece, the foot would step down inside and you'd have like a peg hole in the foot. And then you would have like the casing would grab onto one place. So it wasn't very stable. With this, the foot slides down in, it pegs in the front, the side, the back. It's very stable. The other one was just, it's kind of floppy. Like you put it together and you put it on the shelf and you pray that no one breathed in that general direction, because who knows? Even putting it together years later, I still have had to be very careful with it. It's held up good. It's held up very well for an almost 25-year-old toy. But it can't even compare to this thing. And they've just done a lot of little tricks, a lot of little things we know I've learned with engineering with Transformers over the years. And this is a great figure. It feels like a Haslab. Like I felt like Deathsaurus, which was the last Transformers Haslab. I kind of felt like that was more, it really felt more like somewhere between a Commander and a Leader class. It didn't feel like a Haslab. This feels like a Haslab. And it's got me looking forward to the next one that's coming. But if anyone hasn't gotten theirs, is waiting on it, definitely look forward to it. It's it's a really good piece. Heavy, chunky. It's going to look really good on the shelf. So I'm looking forward to it. Getting it up there. Yeah. It's a monster though. It's a monster.
Birds and Boxes is going to be the name of the hour tonight. The one toy that can bring a sword to a gunfight.
Yes, it can. For sure.
All right, so let me do mine because I got a special one. Speaking of Dan White, go to this mode. Okay, here we go. This, as many people saw, they saw the scan, but now I have the original. So if you're not familiar with this, so Birds and Boxes on Instagram, Dan here, Birds and Boxes here in the chat. He just, out of the kindness of his heart, just one day just said, "Hey, check this out. I drew this." ink on paper, like hand drawn. We're gonna go. I'm gonna pull up the scans and we'll go through it. But this is just amazing. And then not only that, but he also sent me this just as a gift.
Oh wow,
the original
That's
art,
crazy.
which I'm gonna get
that's
this framed,
awesome.
of course.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
But man, I am so grateful and just like humbled in ways, like just so awesome.
It really is. That's a beautiful piece of art.
So we got that. Let's talk about it a little bit. So actually, let's go into the chat. Yeah, it was packed really well. Now you're an artist, so you're probably used to like mailing art. So, but yeah, it was packed perfectly. All right, let's go back to the top here. We got Kirby, Rob Zamora, Curtis Ackerman, who couldn't stay, Freaks Figures, Jeremy Govier, Blake in the house, Jordan, Chris High, Brian Carr, Josh Brown, Ben G, who I'm gonna see next weekend, because I am going to the 5 Points Fest on the 7th. Kevin McCoy, James Samudio, Birds and Boxes, of course, Legends Collector Dylan, J Mac, Jake Rawson, Jesse Marshall, Motoguru, Cyber Rat, Jen Siak, Lucky Sprinkles, Benny Torres, who else? Schlock Doc, Kevin Hamilton, Fortress Madamus. Anyone else? I did say Kirby, Steve Wegling, Cloud Foxfolk also can't stick around, but rest well, Cloud. And Hank, Mecha Rekka, Mark R, Mirko, RP, and William. What is up, everybody? I will share one thing that's kind of funny. I think you two specifically will laugh at this one. My recent pickup that just came in the mail today. Studio 86
Nice.
Ultra Magnus.
Nice.
Do you guys remember what I did?
No, I do not.
I sold my Ultra Magnus.
Oh yeah, I remember you told us
for a
about selling
freaking shitload of money.
That's right.
It was like $280.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to keep this thing that bad because I saw the prices and I was like, holy hell.
It's crazy.
So I sold that thing. And like a week later, it went up for pre-order again. I was like,
you can't
for
beat
that guy.
that.
But so I was like, oh,
You cannot
I'll just
beat
buy it
that.
again.
That's awesome.
And then of course we haven't recorded since I got the All-Star 6. I got that whole wave and I only have one review done so far. I will keep going for more. Chris, did you get Scally Bone Splitter from that wave, or did you order Scally, the dwarf skeleton?
It's on order. Yeah, that was one I didn't actually. I pre-ordered with a retailer. I think Empire Toy Shop.
Dude,
I actually had to double check. I'm like, did I order anything? And I looked through my email and I'm like, oh, I owe a lot of money real soon.
Dude, that figure, I think that's going to be my next one, because when I was opening them with Trevor on Monday night, like that figure is blown. Actually, I had it open already because I did a pop and swap, but that figure is like blowing me away. It is such a good figure. Do I have it sitting here still? Yeah, right here. I do prefer him without the pauldrons, but like this little guy, I love that torso. I love this head sculpt with a little bit of skull
like
underneath
wings
there,
or whatever you call them. Yeah.
Yeah, the helmet. Like, oh man, like everything about this thing is so cool. I love it. I was like, okay, it's a dwarf skeleton. I wasn't like, like crazy about it when it went up for pre-order, but like the details and the paintwork on this whole wave really.
Sweet.
All the details and stuff are awesome. And then his pauldrons, he's got those, the pauldron that was on the Gladiator, it had one.
Oh,
it comes with both sides. And
Sweet.
And so since I don't love them on him, I put them on this guy. I'll probably change his head out or something to make him a little more evil, but it works really well here.
That works well.
The silvers and golds. So I got that in as well, that wave. I'll probably get another review up. I'll get the Scally up probably by Sunday. hopefully. It's just a very busy time of year, especially if you're a parent with kids in school and stuff. There's all sorts of
I'm sure
end of year events and stuff. And my daughter's moving on from elementary to middle school, and so.
Wow, awesome.
Are you familiar with the school and the teachers and such that she's going to be going to? I mean, how do you feel about that?
I don't really know anyone there. It's kind of interesting though, because it's the high school and the middle school are in one building.
Right.
And I think they share the same main office. Do they share the same main office? I'm not sure, but it's like all in the same building. So I'm familiar with the building because there's a great auditorium there where my daughter's performing arts things always do like their yearly performances. So we're familiar with some of the people there, but like not really like teachers and stuff too much. Just some of the folks.
Just a little bit of the geography.
Yeah. I did actually apply for a job there once, and I went to the interview, and they stood me up. The principal didn't even show up.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully that's not a bad sign about their.
Yeah, let's hope.
It was just on a whim. I wasn't even really gonna, but like, it'd be kind of cool to like work where my daughter goes to school. Although maybe not for her.
I was gonna say it might be cool for you, and maybe not so much for the kid.
Yeah, I had a friend who had his mom was the middle school teacher, or one, and I think he was. Yeah, he wasn't in her section. I don't think they typically teach their own, but yeah, a lot of other kids obviously had his mom for the teacher. So.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I did want to pull up the images. So I want to go through. Let me share this tab. Oh, by the way, what time is it? 8:48. At 9:30. Well, first of all, I think Larry, you're definitely going to cut out at 9:30.
Yeah, I got to cut at 9:30. I've got an early day tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's also a Glyos drop that I don't want to forget about because I want to make sure we're on top of that. Okay, so here's the scan, which I can kind of zoom in a little bit more, and we can kind of I want to just like appreciate the original first. But when we go through all of the details, we'll look at the color one that Emil Wickman did. But there's a look at the original. It's just incredible. And this is hand drawn. I mean, like, just look how crisp like these lines are.
I love all the details. Like it pulls. Do you guys remember? I don't know how big into comic art you guys are, but there was an artist in the 90s and up until the early 2000s, but really in the early and mid 90s was when I was exposed to most of his work, George Perez. And he did lots of detail with small, thin lines, and it looked like that. Like from a long way off, you could just tell there was so much detail. But when you would pull in close to his art, you could see the fine detail of everything. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. Okay, so let's now look at and it's a little easier to see, and this, Dan's saying right here, I don't want to jump the gun, but Emil's put this into the stratosphere. All right, so let me find the color.
I love the logo font. I don't know if that's original or if it's from something, but it looks awesome.
I mean, it's probably his own style. Yeah. I would think he hand drew it. So
yeah,
could maybe be. Oh, he can tell us in the chat, right?
Right.
Right,
yeah.
So let me share. All right. So here's the one that Emil did. I think he digitally colored this, I believe. But let's take a look here. So, all right, let's start with the main Warduke here. So we got Warduke as its core, right? The head, the chest is Warduke. You've got a Spawn cape, right? You've got an Optimus Prime arm. You've got a Mythic Legion's armored upper arm for his right arm. You've got a Mythic Legion skeleton lower arm for his right arm. You've got a lightsaber, of course. I love the sound effect. Just like the lettering and all of it for the sound effect is awesome. This is one that I was curious about that I don't think anybody mentioned. is his belt the like utility belt? Like is that Batman's utility?
It looks like
belt,
Batman '89. Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know, of course, the fur, and then it's got a Cosmic Legion's tusk leg, and a Glyos Toy Pizza Goss armor leg. That was like one of the first things I was like, oh my God, like when it got to the deep cuts like that, like, know, that's my favorite Glyos figure. Like that's a, you know it. And then, excuse me. And then we have Beathir, of course. We got the dragon over here. We got the hoverboard. This one's amazing too. Like, so this is another like deep cut, like shout out to like a DorkLair deep cut, because I don't think a lot of people have really noticed that. So like over here in my room or on this other side, I have 3, what is his name? Is it Mike Miller? I think his name's Mike Miller. Prints. They are those Mondo prints where it's like silhouettes of Star Wars characters with a bright color background. And so I have Boba Fett, I have Vader, and I have an AT-AT driver. And like he must have saw that, because like the only way you would really see those would be if you're watching my openings, because that's kind of my background when I open up the figure obscure stuff. Our shirts in the works, not yet. I think a shirt would be great. It would probably have to be black. Like it would have to be like, I don't think we could do this many colors on a shirt.
Yeah, it'd be pretty.
I have to talk to Dave. If Dave looking, are you in this chat? Like, is it possible to do all these colors? So yeah, I'm not sure. Plus I still have some shirts left. So I'm a little hesitant to order like 50 more shirts, like just at the moment, but at some point I would like to. I definitely want to do a coloring, not a contest necessarily, but like maybe everybody who hand colors one and mails it back to me, I can send them a gift or something like that. Yeah, Dave. This is not really possible, right? This much coloring, like, I mean, or is it? That's the question here. Oh, the AT-AT driver was total luck. Okay. It's his favorite. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Okay, so let's keep going through this stuff. Yeah, he says it would definitely be better in lines. Yeah, okay. I could see this being like those old print ones where you like the shirts that would never last very long and they would peel off, but they would be like at like when you first got them,
right?
They'd be like
iron-on
super shiny. And, yeah, the iron-ons, but like the ones you got like at the store, you know, at the mall. Yeah, you could do an iron-on, and it would totally have that class. Like if you could get one that had that classic feel to it. The only thing is the shirt wouldn't last very long.
Not very long at all.
Okay, so let's keep going through. We got some Simpsons with the Duff Beer. We've got the Holy Grail over here. We've got an Astromech droid, a little R2 unit, Royal Guard, He-Man, Rubik's Cube, Donatello. I don't know if he's aware of this, but Donatello is my favorite turtle. We got Cap Shield. We have Indiana Jones hat, whip, or some rope or whip or whatever. I don't know. I'm curious what this magazine is here.
It's an X-Men comic, I think. As you can see, Wolverine's 3 claws. Yeah. That was one of the cool details I noticed when I first looked at that. That was neat.
Of course, Batman is right here. Dan, did you ever tell what this is here? I'm curious what that is.
That section I couldn't tell exactly what was there. This is Donnie's his favorite. A lot of this is luck.
Yeah, a lot of this is luck. Okay. Cool. What else have we not mentioned here?
So it's the Matt Smith Dr. Screwdriver.
Okay. So Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Is it the Cosmic? What is it called? It's just the screwdriver.
I've never watched the show. Sonic
screwdriver. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
What's to the right of that? Like the brown with the blue in the middle.
That's the spark, right? That's the matrix of leadership, right?
It is. I didn't see the casing on the other side. It sure is.
Okay.
Good catch.
And then
is that Spider-Man's web shooters?
Yes, that's what this is right here. We could see that piece coming out. I want to say this is it's like the peach from the Figura Obscura Monkey King, maybe. We got Iron Man's mask. We've got one of the ghosts. Somebody in the chat can name him. I don't remember the Inky Blinky. I forget the names. Right.
Clyde.
20-sider.
Yeah, my wife sends me a text the other day. She says, "Do you know what whatever that geometric shape is called? Something dodecahedron." And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you didn't know this." And she sends me a picture of the 20-sided die. I'm like, "Where did this come from?" And she's like, "I found something I could stump you with." I was like, "Yeah, you got me."
He confirmed it's the Monkey King fruit. That's pretty cool.
Okay. The sword here, he said he wasn't super happy with how it came out. He was trying to make the Ether Blade, not the Ether Blade, the other one, the Heaven's Brand sword, Gideon Heaven's Brand's sword. And then, of course, Superman, Robin. The most gruesome part of this is it's not just Buzz Off, it's his severed head over here bleeding.
I didn't notice the blood before.
I didn't notice it either until Emil colored it. Down here, so we got a stack of books, DorkLair, right? And then down here is a D13 book, because the packaging for D13, they are shaped like books, right? Oscar, Quick Kick, a skull, Vader, or actually,
I thought it was like the mutant leader. I was like, that's probably different.
I thought originally in black and white, I asked him if it was Worf because of the sash. But he informed me it was Quick Kick. Who is this Vader?
Looks like Vader to me.
It looks like Vader. I'm curious if that's confirmed, if he had confirmed that, because it kind of also looks like Kylo. Like if you look at the, at the.
No, there's a box on his chest. Don't put that evil on him.
Kind of, yeah. I guess it's Vader. Yeah, it just looked like his arms were bare or something in this. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I was kind of like wondering. All right, so back to this. And of course,
he said I needed Buzz Off in there, but I didn't want to draw his whole body.
That'll do it.
Well, yeah, I guess this is a mask, technically, right?
At least we know what he's been doing with that lightsaber.
Yeah, these are helmets, so I guess technically Buzz Off, it is his actual head. I think
what's
that's
the
everything.
Significance? So the books were DorkLair. Now, what was this? Was this down beside Buzz Off's head? Was that another book right there above Superman? Was that just the pages of a book? Yeah.
Yeah. So the stack of books runs down behind his head. It looks.
Is that Oscar the Grouch in front of Quick Kick?
Yes.
Did I missed that. Okay.
You guys can see my cursor, right?
Now, is the mushroom over here by Buzz Off's head? Is that a Smurf house?
Good question. I hadn't even thought.
I was guessing Mario, but yeah, that's
I was thinking Mario too, but I haven't even thought of.
And what did we say this purple and gold thing was below Buzz Off's chin? Looks like a scepter of some kind. What is that?
This right here.
Yeah.
This is the hilt of a sword that runs. This way.
That's what I thought.
That's the Heaven's Brand sword.
Got it.
Man, this is just like
a lot of.
I'm still floored.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so that is a book and meant to be something, but some things were forgotten. Okay. So some things he maybe had like a plan for, and it didn't quite, like, in the craziness of everything, some things got like sidelined or whatever.
You confirm Mario shrooms and coins.
Okay, Mario shrooms and Mario coins. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dan. Is there anything we missed?
Be hard to believe because we got a lot.
Yeah, incredible.
Motu is metal. Inky would be cyan. Cyan would be inky, right? So that would be cyan. This one is cyan, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I think you got it all. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you again so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that kind of blew me away when I first saw it when you showed it to us, and then every time I go back to it and look, it's just like I would love to know how long this took start to finish.
He has a couple process photos on his Instagram, birds in boxes. But it looks like it took quite a while because he did it in layers of like art layers. Oh, we didn't mention the Father Christmas staff here too.
Oh yeah,
because I started up there and then I went straight to the figure. Now we need someone to customize this thing and make it.
Oh, I'll put it together.
Well, I guess this
but once
leg
we get that leg
would be out of scale, right?
Yeah, and then we have to find a prime arm.
I bet we could find one like one from like one of those Super 7 figures might fit there,
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the Goss leg would be the deal breaker for this.
But yeah, fantastic artwork.
Yeah.
I know everyone wants a t-shirt. I kind of just want to print this.
Oh yeah, let me pull up Mark's.
Yeah, definitely a print.
I that's something I will look into is getting prints made. Like I want to get like nice quality prints done. I do want to pull up Mark's as well. I just have to find it. Hang on a second here. I'm going to go over to the Facebook page. And let me see if I can find it here. There it is. All right. So Mark Thomas, who is Saturday Morning Collector. Can I open this up in a new tab? Yeah, there we go. He also colored it. And there's his. And that came out amazing too. He went with like bright, almost fluorescent colors and stuff.
Green theme. Nice.
But pretty spot on with everything as well on here. Now I'm not sure if he did. Some of this makes me think he did this with colored pencils or crayons. Like it kind of looks.
It's got a colored pencil look.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool stuff. Super cool. So yeah, that's two things. I'd like to do one where I just ask people to like anybody who wants to participate to like just print it out on a 8.5 by 11, color it up, and send it in. And then I also would like to do prints. The t-shirts is kind of a maybe, or if I do them, maybe like next year kind of thing. Okay. Okay, Heinrich's going to ask Mark if he did it with crayons or if he did it digitally. All right, and then I wanted to pull up some toy news. There's not a lot. I mean, I guess probably the biggest thing for us, do I have it here? Is, let me find my links here. Kind of a whole little mini Monday teasers on the Infinite Legion stuff. So, Four Horsemen shared this one, and they kind of went into like what is Infinite Legions in this post. You can go read all that stuff, but I was just kind of interested in taking a look at the figure in the back. I had asked Jeremy to send me this photo without the words in front of it, but he's on vacation, so he didn't have access to that stuff right now. But it's just kind of a look at it. So this would be one of Trevor's photos, as opposed to like last week or whatever, or like the last time we shared this stuff. It would have been the old one from back in November that they, the old render from back in November.
Yeah, the original.
That they showed, and they said they were doing updates and stuff. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Obviously, we don't get much here. We have his phase arm that's got a ton of sculpted detail here, and still kind of like in line with that cosmic look, like this screw right here type thing. Just feels very Cosmic Legions-esque and stuff. But we don't see this other side of his face. Like theoretically, we could get scar fade in too, or at the head swap, like the alternate head. Where
yeah,
that scar cut across his eye. But yeah, so this is coming a week from tomorrow. So Friday the 6th is when they're going to have their live online reveal special, and then Saturday the 7th is the 5 Points Fest / Toy Pizza Expo event in New York, Beacon, New York, where Four Horsemen will have it on display. They'll have the prototype on display, and the thing will be fully revealed. And I presume the pre-order will have begun. I'm assuming the pre-order begins. Yeah. So join us on 6/6 as we launch this new line to reveal a special pre-order. Sorry, with a reveal special and pre-order for Infinite Legions fade in. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. And a follow-up to that is that there's a Glyos drop tonight from Onel. Speaking of fade-in, there's a fade-in in this drop, it looks like. So this is fade-in here. We only get this like vested upper torso view of him. But that's tonight at 9:30, so that's in about 20 minutes. They sometimes go a little bit later, like they might start at like 9:45 or something, but we'll start keeping an eye on it at 9:30 tonight, and this will be wave 107. He said there's 4
waves.
figures.
I haven't paid attention.
Wow.
I missed the first 106. Wow.
Yeah. I think I hopped in. I think it was already past wave 1. No, I think I was maybe jumping in around 97, 98, somewhere in there. I think my first one was like around right after the shortly after the Goss armor. So that would have been like middle of 2023, because I think the glow in the dark Goss was my first order I made direct from Onel.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so and there's gonna be 4 figures in this wave, and it kind of like expands the storyline off of the Govorum storyline, which is like a really old storyline. If you go to their like passcode thing, and like go to their very first passcode video, the Cliffs of Grantham, like over here, that's Govorum. These are cool. I guess you can like download the Flash game and play the game, but like. I don't think you can do it natively like in browsers anymore. Maybe like because I don't know, I couldn't play the game in my browser. I think you got to download it or something, and have a dedicated Flash player. Everett says I still need a glow in the dark Goss. Probably not that hard to find, I would imagine. 22-minute warning. Thank you.
22-minute.
Okay, so let me get into some other toy news. I'm going to pull up Preternia's Twitter, because I think probably really the main toy news recently was today's Marvel Legends live stream.
I did not get to see that. Was there like a Haslab revealed or anything like that?
No Haslab, but there was some, I think some pretty big news. I mean, of course we're getting movie figures, right? So we're getting the Fantastic Four, various movie figures.
First steps, yeah.
Nothing too, it's movie figures. I don't think there's a lot to talk about there really. But the other kind of big one was that they revealed a whole wave of Marvel versus Capcom figures. So, oh wait, I think we got better ones since then. Let's go here. All right, so this is a 2-pack. You've got Wolverine and Silver Samurai. Interesting that Wolverine has single jointed elbows.
Yeah.
For Marvel Legends, that seems a little odd, right?
A little bit.
So there's the 2-pack.
Yeah, his whole like physique looks very. I mean, I guess it's a lot more to the Marvel's Capcom aesthetic. Like his arms look gigantic.
Yeah.
And
They do
thighs.
here,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and that makes sense. Like if you think about the video game looks.
Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised there. Like there's a lot of new tooling for these, just video game adaptation figures.
Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack.
As much as I love
He
the
looks
movie
good.
styles, we've gotten so many movie Thanoses over the years. I love it when they do just a regular old comic book style Thanos.
Yeah. I want to keep an eye on the chat here. Yeah, Shuma Gorath. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Just Marvel versus, right? No Capcom.
Like they still list, like I was looking at the power bars and there's 3 of them. Like it's a tag team game. It's like, okay, you guys should have like, if you're trying to not avoid anything, like just don't make it look exactly like how the game would be.
Yeah. And
just
then
go
we have
for
Omega
it.
Red and War Machine.
That's cool.
Cool stuff. I do like that look. Although again, we're like, haven't they like phased out pins by now?
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of odd when you see that now.
this Captain America looks good. But we got Captain America and Venom.
I like that.
I guess another thing about this is they're all 2-packs. So if you just want like just
Yes.
Captain America, you're kind of screwed. You got to buy them both.
Like what do you call it? Legends collector. They know
Wow,
exactly
I
what they're
really
doing.
like-
and one figure from each of these 2-packs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that cap a lot.
Yeah, it looks good.
Anybody want a Venom?
Like I kind of like how the Venom look, with the blue, but I know it's not really accurate to anything else, but it looks pretty cool.
There we go. So they're saying Gargantos on the box here.
Okay.
So there's the package. I think it's bendy wires
Yeah,
throughout.
it's got to be right. I mean, that's pretty awesome looking.
There's
though.
one
Like, it
pose
looks
they
like
had
it
him
works
in that-
well.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, you got a plastic shoulder, right?
Yeah.
When you can see the articulation point here, and then that probably coming out of that is bendy wire. Oh, this was.
I'm not familiar with that character. Is that just a character from the video game?
No,
I'm not.
like I remember seeing this character in some of the Conan comics. I don't know like
Oh.
how.
Because he doesn't scream Marvel to me. I don't know. I thought maybe it might be some X-Men or something cosmic I might have missed at some point.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Just unique figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's just like the fact that you can do this. is
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And then Juggernaut, I think, is on his own. I think it's just like a single pack,
Yeah.
deluxe like type thing.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't
big,
have a
chunky
Juggernaut in my
Juggernaut.
collection yet, so that's could be this one.
Oh, speaking of Marvel, I'm
It's
sorry.
huge.
I missed one other thing, and this just occurred to me because I looked to my left. I got Maximum Spider-Man this week as well.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
what are your
I'm-
thoughts?
Boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. I think it's worth it. And I'm going to tell you why. You remember whenever the first Mafex Spidey came out and I was all excited and I got it and I was like, and I sold it immediately. All of the like everything that I had wished that Mafex Spidey had been, this one is. It can do every pose I want it to do. I never liked the way the hip and the girdle piece looked on the Mafex stuff. They just don't look right. And this thing is freaking Todd, and Todd McFarlane's my favorite Spider-Man artist of all time. And this thing is so Todd, I can't believe it. In fact, I'm probably like, I got when they did the Mafex Venom re-release, I got that. So this is going to go with my Mafex Venom re-release. And I may get a second one of these. I may Larry 2 times this thing because there's just too much stuff I want to do with it. I can't, I'm not going to go change it like every single day, but there's so many different things. So I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier. If anyone's on the fence about it and you have the disposable income, go get it. I love it. And it's making me second guess myself for not getting that Maximum Hulk. I may pull the trigger on that. And when I saw the big chunky Juggernaut, that made me think of Hulk, which made me think of that. And that's how my brain got there.
Yeah. My only problem with this was I got it basically on the same day that I got Megatronus the Fallen. And it's like $50 versus $55 Megatronus the Fallen. And it's like, damn, this is a lot less toy.
Well, I had actually gotten that one. I had actually gotten that in a pile of loot. I think I showed you guys like that pile of loot. I mean, it was a big pile of loot, and it had a couple of things in it. It had some Transformers stuff in it, and some Transformers 1 stuff that I didn't go over. And I got the figure arts, Deadpool and Wolverine from the movie, which are awesome and look great. But I was actually like, that was the last thing I opened out of that box of all the stuff that I got. I had another masterpiece in there, the Black Ironhide repaint. So I opened everything first. And I opened that Spider-Man last, and I was like, you know what? Worth it. Absolutely worth it. I really dig that figure.
It is a really good figure. And if it was like, if it didn't have all those accessories and it was like a regular $25 figure, and like people would be out of their minds. Like,
oh gosh, they would.
Shit, amazed by it. It's just the price is the only thing.
Bobby Vala, did you see his review of it?
I don't think so.
Bobby did a great review of it. And, people get on to Bobby because sometimes he can be salty with Marvel and for understandable reasons. Sometimes he goes a little far. But I tend to think he has pretty good opinions most of the time. Not that I necessarily agree with his opinions, but I think he does a good job of making his case. And one of the cases he made with the Spider-Man was to say, okay, is it really worth it? He said, well, here's what a base figure costs. So let's take that out and see what all would come with a base figure. And then he said, what's the parts count? Because that's what determines how much something costs. What's the part count? How many molds are you having to make? And he's like, what's the parts count? And, for it to be a $50 figure, well, we know this would probably have been a $25 or $30 figure. So are the additional parts worth $20 or $25? And then he compared it to something that he does with Action Force, where they do one of their accessory packs for $12 or $15. And there are like 7 or 8 more pieces in there. So he made a really good case that if you want to go dollar for dollar, it's maybe not a great deal. But let's be honest, who in their right mind pays $200 for this? I finished it up her body.
I know we overspend.
We do. So it's what is it? I remember when I was a kid, and I'm sorry I keep playing with this. I had the thing removed a few weeks ago. It actually came back cancerous, and they had to remove another one.
Oh shit!
So they took a big chunk out on.
Oh my gosh! Sorry.
Tuesday morning. Oh, it's all good, man. He took like 1 centimeter margin on Tuesday. I got the lab call this morning. We're all good in the hood. So I'm just gonna have a nice little scar there. So anyway, if I keep playing with myself, that's why. But I remember when I was a kid, I collected baseball cards, and I would tell my dad, "Oh, this one's worth this. This one's worth this." He said, "Larry," he goes, "it's worth whatever you can get for it." He said, or if you never sell it, it's worth however much happiness it brings you. And that's the way I look at this stuff. Objectively, is that a $50 figure? Probably not. But I enjoy this figure out of the box immensely more than I did that Mafex, which was an $80 or $85 figure. So to me, I think it justifies the cost.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't regret buying it. but you know, it's just a pricey figure. That's all.
It is. It is.
Okay, okay, so there's everything together. There's all the 2-packs and stuff. It's pretty cool. Like to draw. I mean, I guess like if you're super into this game and you're like all in, this is a shitload of toys to buy, and it's all over the place. He has a post. Here it is. So, so on June 5th, you get the Wolverine and Silver Samurai on like most of the stores, Fan Channel, Amazon. And then on the 6th, that'd be Friday, right? Next Friday, you get Psylocke and Thanos Target exclusive. And then on the 12th, you get Captain America and Venom, which is a regular release. And then you get Shuma-Gorath Fan Channel on the 18th. And then Juggernaut Fan Channel on the 26th. And then, I guess no specific date yet, you get a Walmart exclusive, which is War Machine and Omega Red. So I guess, first of all, it's a lot. I mean, it's spread out a little bit, at least. It's not all in one day, but it's all in 1 month. Pretty much.
You know, Transformers has been doing game reverse for quite some time, going through 2 iterations of various games over the years. And those have always been fun little figures that are kind of an adjunct to the regular line. And I think this looks like a lot of fun too. Like if I can see right out of the gate, I'm going to get that cap because I love Captain America, and I'll, you know, sell off the Venom and I'll be fine. But it looks like those figures look like a lot of fun. They're just different enough from the standard line, so you don't feel like you're just getting stuck with a repaint. But they're also not embedded in the line, so you don't feel like you have to have them to complete your collection. And to me, that's what these fan channel things ought to be.
Yeah. So I guess the 2 tricky ones would be the Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack is a Target exclusive. And we've been seeing lately some really bungled Target exclusives. Like there's I've been seeing this retro,
the Star Wars pack.
The retro A New Hope pack that's been like going up online, canceled orders, people finding it in store sometimes, people finding it for half price on clearance. It's already getting clearanced out, and like, you know, just wackiness with that. So we'll see how this one goes. And then the other one would be the War Machine and Omega Red 2-pack, which will be a Walmart one. Everything else should be fairly accessible, right? Like all the fan channel stuff, mainline should also be all on the fan channel sites too, right? Like it's just like a regular release. So
yeah, right, yeah. That's an interesting way to divvy everything up, especially when you're doing like it's seemingly a decent amount of new molding, where it's just like you'd almost think you would just mainline everything. I mean, I guess the exclusives, you know, Target and Walmart are paying a lot for, and I guess Amazon's paying a lot for those, even though they're elsewhere too. The fan channel, like, you know, that's going to be tons of options.
But they don't have to compete, I guess, with their main competitor doesn't have.
There's going to be a lot of people who just buy it from Amazon because they're like, oh, it's easy. I don't have to think about it. I get points or 5% off or something too.
Budo, nice.
Yeah, Budo. So this was another. I guess this was like a little teaser for the Yojo June stuff that they're going to be doing a bunch of reveals and whatnot. But this was a single reveal that they had today. I don't know if it was in any way connected to this live stream they had. I thought that was just Marvel, but Budo, Larry, what do you think?
I think most of us insane people are going to need 2 of those. I mean, he's got 2 completely different looks. It looks like they're doing something that looks very traditional to, you know, faithful to his old figure. And then on top of that, something that looks more modern. It's almost like, so I have coming this week, I have the, what is it that they're calling the G.I. Joe line when they package them on the retro? I have the retro Viper, Dr. Mindbender, and Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll and Mindbender are arriving tomorrow, and the Viper is arriving on Monday. And while the initial releases of those were really nice, but the Rock and Roll especially and the Viper were very modernized. But these retros are just exactly like they were. So it looks like they're doing both of those in one box here, and I really like that. I mean, because I'm buying both figures anyway. So, you know, if I'm just going to display one, then I'll buy both and I can decide which one to display. I love it. I think that thing looks awesome.
Cool.
I haven't collected a lot in a while. I don't know how much of this is all new, but like there's a lot of parts there. I mean,
Yeah.
thinking about the Maximum Spider-Man and all the parts that, like, there's a lot of stuff in here that's probably not very usable for other, other items. So it's pretty
Did they
awesome.
say a price for this, or?
If you had to twist my arm, I'd say $50 or $60.
Yeah. Similar to those like, I forget what they're calling them, but the ones that are based on the old school GI Joe figures, those like deluxe, like there's like a diver one, and there's
Oh, like the 60th anniversary ones, the diver, the marine, the sniper. Yeah.
It's like it's got to be a loadout pretty similar to this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the one coming up, so there's a firefighter coming up and something else. But which those are freaking great. I love those.
There's a 77 Spider-Man, I guess.
Nice.
Oh, that's backup for pre-order. Okay, so now we're getting into just like
speaking of Walmart, that and I missed it. I wasn't aware of it, but that GI Joe crystal ball that went up for pre-order about a month and a half ago and sold out in 12 and a half minutes or whatever, it went back up for like a full day. I didn't know it was up, but a lot of folks were able to get it. So if you're going for something on one of these, and that happened to me on Target with a Hulk Hogan Target exclusive, it was available, then it wasn't. And with these things that show sold out as exclusives, just check back every day, because you never know. It's how I was able to get Breaker on Hasbro Pulse. Like I said, it happened with Crystal Ball on Walmart for a lot of folks. So if there's something you want and it sells out, just keep checking back, because you never know.
I'm sure you know this, Larry, just because you mentioned Crystal Ball. That I heard a podcast a couple weeks ago on that was designed by Stephen King and his son. I had no idea.
It was designed by Stephen King. And actually, before I say this, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I couldn't. Yeah. Born of a Romanian father and an American mother from Bangor, Maine, which is where Stephen King is from. I thought there was something in here about Richard Bachman.
That's like his real name, right? Something like
it's not on his file card, but it's been used in media somewhere that his last name was Bachman, which again is an allusion to Stephen King's Bachman books. So that's something that I learned years ago, but I had forgotten until someone mentioned it, when this figure dropped.
Yeah, it was an interview it was a Stephen King podcast under the name of Larry Hama. Is that his name?
Yeah. Larry Hama.
It was a good interview.
I'd like to check that out. I'll have to look that up.
I'll send it to you.
That's just Larry Hama did all those old file cards. You guys got a Blokey's drop or a Glyos drop coming up. I got Blokey's on the brink. I bought my first 2 blind box Blokey's today, and I reminded myself why I don't buy blind boxes. I was just like, It was $10, so no big deal, but lesson learned.
So I think it's clear that Bachman was his pen name. The question was Richard Bachman within the character? Was that the character's real name?
I can't remember if it was ever on a file card or if it was just mentioned offhand in a comic book or something like that. But there's a part of my brain that, and maybe I'm making that up, but I want to say that there was something to do with Bachman in the actual character bio somewhere. So,
all right, let's see. So the Glyos page so typically what they do is, and Larry, are you hopping off?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna say good night,
dude.
guys. Have a wonderful night. I enjoyed it. Take care.
Cool.
All right, good night,
next
Larry.
time.
Typically they reveal the stuff like within like a half hour before or so. They start like revealing them. Like this last one, they let's see, like this one, they were sort of revealing them as they went, right? Like but I guess it's just gonna all drop. It's gonna be 4 figures, and then I think he said there's some accessories. So let's see what happens. Whoops, that's the blog. Let's see. Store's not open yet. So if somebody like in the chat can just like let me know when it's, just somebody be refreshing over there, because this won't be great TV if I'm just over here.
What's up? I just refreshed it and then I got you.
All right, let's see here. Oh, this is so funny. I was just thinking about these limbs here. I need to buy these before. Oh, look at that. What's that guy called? I forget his name. All right. I'm going to pull my screen down for a second. Because I don't want to like buy stuff and then have...
It's like your credit card and your...
yeah, you know, I don't want to...
Well, I'll look through, and these guys look neat. I do like the red tentacle guy. It's a pretty cool design. I like the paintwork. $24, not bad.
There's no red.
Relgathon.
All right. I just want to get the stuff in these colors. All right. One.
Infiltrator billboard.
I'll add everything to my cart, and then I'll be like, okay, is this too much money? And then I'll start taking stuff out.
Right. Yeah. That's the only way to do it, is go maximum and see if you can resist clicking place order.
58. That's not... oh, wait, no, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, that sounds a little
88?
cheap.
Let's see. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 figures. And then...
they don't do just like an all-in button or something? Listing, I mean.
No.
Capes.
I think the capes are leftovers from the previous wave. But they're cool little capes. And they're only like, what, a couple dollars?
Yeah, $2.
Right. I'm checking out because I don't want to miss out on anything. I think I got everything I want here. And then I'll pull it back up and we can take a look at everything. Did my order go through? Yep. Okay, my order's in. I will share this screen again. And... oh, look at this. OK Figures gifted memberships. Oh, I missed a bunch of super chats and stuff. Let's go do those now, because I had most when I don't have my slideshow, I have the other screen on top because I only have one screen, so I always miss stuff like this. So we got Kevin Boots, 24 months. Rob Zamora, 24 months. So we're at the 2-year mark. I think we must have just hit 2 years because these guys are like,
oh right, yeah,
for the memberships. And then we had Kevin Boots with the $5 super chat. Hello, members of the DorkLair. And then Joe and OK both gifted 10 memberships. Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, everybody. Okay. So let me pull this here. Okay, so this is the Faden here with that vest. Little tampo on the front there. And on the arm. So that's a good that's like, you know, so I think, you know, there's people out there who don't have any Glyos and might be interested in checking it out and just being able to get, like, you know, the original character.
Yeah, the basic guy
is good. And then we have a build born. The Infiltrator. So this is the same guy from that like 8-bit animation that I showed earlier. So if we go to the blog and we go to the passcode, and if you were to watch this, will it? Whoops, hold on, I can't have that. What happened? Show this tab. Okay, there we go. All right, so if you watch this video, can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear the audio.
So,
a little loud, but yeah.
At the end of this battle, summon the Buildborn the infiltrator, the build man infiltrator. So that's him.
Okay.
So there's a cool little story there about the Govorum, and I'm still just kind of like scratching the surface of the lore of all this stuff, but I kind of talked about it Monday night. It's essentially like the main core story is the edge of space. At the edge of space, essentially where the universe ends, is the Glyos system. That's the star system, the Glyos system. I want to pull this up again. And then when you reach the edge of the Glyos system, you cross over to other universes. And Phaedon is a traveler, and he travels between them, and then more Phaedons are created in these travels and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the base core story. And then there's all these different like organizations, and there's like the build man and the droid. There's like droids essentially, right? Like synthetic people and stuff. Yeah. The Renegade Buildborn is based off of, I forget the name of the type of character, but it was like this part of the story where these very good robots during some war, these very good robots were like corrupted and they were like turned evil. The Relgothin Astro Kraken. I don't really know the story of this too much. I do know that it's based on one of the newer figures. The torso there is from the Naval Deep figure. That was a collaboration with Toy Pizza.
So yeah, that says it's a conversion set. So you don't get all those like if I bought that, I wouldn't have everything there. Maybe.
Yes, no, you would. For 24, okay. You should. Yeah, so you get one.
I would hope so.
Delphi limb set, one Relgothin head, one Orkaru head, short navel deep neck, long navel deep neck, navel deep chest, short navel deep abdomen, long navel deep abdomen. Yeah, so you get this figure, but I think the idea is that it's because it's a cross between multiple figures, I think. There's probably extra parts too with it.
Yeah, it says 34 total parts, so that does sound like a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, there was somebody who posted an Attack Peter. If you've ever seen Attack Peter stuff from Mondo, and there's one that's got these tentacle arms, and it's almost like a robot core body, and it's got all these tentacle arms. It's one of Mondo's vinyl figures.
Okay.
And somebody was saying they should do this in Glyos, and you could actually, there's like a lot of parts that would work well for that, including these tentacles, which I think are from Outer Spacemen, if I remember correctly, if I'm seeing them right. Okay, so we got him, and then so that's all of them. We went through all. I think my favorite is this guy, just because he's part of that story, and I don't think I have a build man yet. So with this, you get a complete build man, one complete axis joint set, one dark argent head, one traveler scarf, and one soft goods gray cloak. Sweet. This is cool. Awesome.
What are those guys? Are those like
they're tiny.
static?
They're little tiny figures.
Oh,
with like maybe 5 pieces each. 4 total parts. Yeah, they're little tiny
like
little
maybe the arms
guys.
move or something.
Yep.
Cool.
Kind of like smaller version of the Kraboths. Do you have any Kraboths? These are pretty tiny too. Do I have one up here?
No.
I don't have one up here.
Believe so. No. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Most of the ones I don't know this isn't those guys, right?
No, I can pull one out. Yeah. I'll show you.
I mean, I only really got what you've given me, and I bought a few things. This is what I got. It's a nerds guy.
Yeah.
That's you got me these 3 for
that's the glow in the dark Goss I was talking about
Goss.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
These are.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
if you want to see that next to Goss, like that's how small they are.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a big difference.
Yeah. But they got 4 points of articulation, and they're Glyos. So like you could totally take these Goss arms and whatever arms you
just
want,
throw them in there.
and
Yeah.
put them on this guy and like make him like a tall one. Yeah. People go crazy for these. Like I feel like there are like completists out there that like have every single one of these things.
I can imagine.
Yeah, the mites are about 1 inch. The Krabos are a little under 2 inches. Yeah. A little smaller than battle beasts. I guess it depends on what you're talking about. Like all right, so the Faden, so this is Govorum that we were kind of talking about, and he's the same body as Faden, and so he's probably 3 inches tall, I guess. Probably a little over 3 inches. I can put him next to. What do I have?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like one of the generic scales is about 3 inches, and then another one that's about 5 inches.
Yeah, there's 4-inch figures like
4
like
inch.
the Goss armor and the other Toy Pizza stuff. They're like class. They're Goss, not really, but like most of the Toy Pizza stuff is like supposed to be Kenner, format essentially. But if you want to see how big a standard Faden is, that's him next to a standard 3 3/4 inch figure. So he's probably like 3 and then another 3/4 inches. I was chipping away at my my Kenner collection at the last con I went to. I don't know if we've talked about that con on here since then, but I picked up a Boba Fett, a Ben Kenobi. I didn't realize his cape was ripped. I'm a little upset that his cape is ripped, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know you were collecting the originals.
I have a collection of them, and every once in a while I go active again and I start hunting for them. But it's been a long time since I've really like put a lot of effort into it, because there was a little while where they got so expensive.
Yeah, it's like it was.
I feel like they leveled off or something, and it's kind of like okay, they seem reasonable again. So I've been hunting a little bit. And I got a Wicket incomplete. Let's see what Wicket is sized for. He's almost Kraboth size.
Oh yeah, nice.
But my Wicket's incomplete, no spear. And then Wicket next to Faden size. Nice. All right. Perfect thing to collect after you go too hard into ogres. Maybe that's the thing too. It's like the more I run out of space, the tinier my figures get.
Yeah.
It's like you have all this stuff, and now all the little cracks and corners in between all the figures are going to be filled up with tiny figures.
Yeah, I've definitely done a lot of shoving in some
well,
some shelves.
I need to I have to like tear everything down and start from scratch again, like, because it's such a mess in here. It's so bad.
Oh yeah.
But this comment here is funny because so Dan Larson was at Shop the Curiosity when I got this, and his table was right next to Chris's, and we were just all hanging out there. And it's funny because when I was walking around looking for Boba Fett's, Trevor was with me, and he was looking for a Boba Fett to buy to give to Dan for Dan's collection. So we were we were like Boba Fett hunting together, and Dan Larson's collection was involved in that hunt. Are these Glyos already made? No, these are in stock. They'll ship probably about a week from now. Like, I think he usually like spends the weekend shipping, and then they go out like early next week or something like that. So yeah, these are all in stock. Wickety wickety whack, Jack. Crisscross Ewok makes you want to jump on Endor. All right, let me clean up my mess here a little bit. So I guess my next event is going to be, oh, you know what else? Hold on. I don't know why the 7-inch Glyos thing, but speaking of, the King Ghidorah.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's basically 3 figures plus some extra parts, and they might still have them up on the God Beast, and then you can combine them into basically Mecha King Ghidorah. Let's see if those are still available.
That's awesome.
God Beast. Yeah, that's still there. Yep. Godbeast.com if you want that. It's pricey because it's 3 figures plus extra parts. It's $80. But yeah, it's super cool. And it's like, I thought it was going to be super challenging to put together, but he has the breakdown, and it actually went together pretty easily. It was really not too bad at all. And it's got the tail over here. So like, it's pretty stable, like it stands up nicely.
Nice.
Yeah, it came out great. And that's like, he years ago just built, it wasn't like he didn't design this and then have it made. Like, this is 3 separate figures that at one point he built together to make I think it was a gold one. It was like a solid gold, like just like a regular Ghidorah instead, as opposed to this being the mecha. But this is freaking brilliant build. We talk about kit bashing and stuff. It's just genius.
Yeah, that's fun.
Just ordered the Stray Line Fade In. DorkLair got me hooked on Glyos. So, funny that you mentioned Stray Line. I was thinking about that. Like, so if we go back to let me share this. So to the post, it talks about the Stray Line as a storyline. Perhaps Govorum witnessed an alternate timeline open up as he traveled over to the other side, a kind of stray line where the events that carved the path of known reality never came to pass. What if Faden never made it to Granthin in time to awaken the Buildman and become Arjun and so on? I'm wondering if that could connect to Infinite Legions with these stray lines, and if that's a story. I mean, we're a week away from that, so I'm kind of curious if this stuff connects over to that in this way, and if that's how they get them over. Yeah, right for Valhalla. Benji saying one of us. What was asked about? Oh, the Glyos event in Beacon. So it's the 7th and the 8th. So this on the 6th, 4 Horsemen and Matt Dowdy O'Neill will be doing their live stream and revealing the Faden, mythic legions, the Infinite Legions Faden. And then Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th is the event that 4 Horsemen will be at, as well as Matt from O'Neill, and they will be together kind of revealing the prototype in person. Earlier today, when Kirby made the post asking us to pick a Glyos from the archive, it made me spend a good 45 minutes at work just looking at the different variants. I do that all the time. Like, pulling this up again, like if you go to the database and you go to production, all the waves through 99, I think,
Wow.
are on here. And so you can go here and click the founders, and you can see the very first wave. You could also like have it be different setups for browsing and looking at it. But so yeah, so the first wave was Fade In and Exilus. Wait, I like the flip card. Yeah. So Fade In, Fade In, Fade In, Exilus, 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 Exilus. So those were like the two, essentially like Fade Ins and then Exilus figures. Those were the two first ones. And you kind of go back through and look at the history. You can go to the beginning of the blog and see all the posts, and you can go to the wiki. There's a Glyos wiki that has it all on there too. And there's it's a lot of piecemeal. If you're looking for the lore, it can take a lot of like digging and just like piecing stuff together, but it's cool. It's cool to go through and like go back. I've been spending time going back through the blog reverse order and just like seeing like the development of the story and the company and the, just like the whole thing and all the collaborations as they start to like sprout up and stuff. So
yeah, that's awesome. You've got it all archived there, and it's all there. Like that's one thing I really like about Four Horsemen with their stuff. You can go and look at Source Horsemen and see everything. I mean, I'm thinking of like a couple smaller like toy companies like NECA or Super 7 that I wish they would have like all that there. Like Hasbro's got like a billion figures. I don't know if they're gonna want to go even care about archiving them, but like the smaller. I wouldn't even call them NECA boutique or anything exactly, but like the smaller companies like put stuff out there. I mean, you know what? Now that I remember, yeah, NECA used to do this thing around Christmas where they would just release a graphic that would have like
the visual
like every
checklists.
Predator figure and like every Terminator. Now that I'm thinking about that, they do that, but it's like, I have to go back on Toy Ark or something and find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a thing like this would be, fantastic just to see what was produced. Maybe I want to go back and find it. I mean, or Bug NECA or whoever to re-release something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So when I go back through lore, I will usually try to have like if I'm looking specifically at O'Neill and the Glyos system stuff, like the Faden stuff, I will have this open. And then I'll have the wiki page that has all the waves, and I'll flip to the next wave. The only thing I don't like about this page is like when I'm on this page right here, I don't know which wave it is. I have to sort of remember by going back.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
See, yeah.
Back to here, right?
And I assume they've never. I assume they've not done like straight re-releases, like of anything. They'll obviously reuse the molds 100 times, but not.
I think they may have or done really close versions of things.
Okay, yeah.
But
I guess there's only so many different variants when you're 107 waves in and you're still doing the same mold.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even realize you could put them all up on one page. That's freaking wild. This is the guy, the Goban, that is the thing in the current wave that is corrupted.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not him.
At least
that's different, yeah.
Yeah, so if we go to the current wave,
I don't know why that really bulbous body reminds me of the that one Twilight Zone episode with the old ladies in the farmhouse, and there's all these little like Tinker toys that are like the aliens, and she's battling them off.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to the store. This guy, I think he's supposed to be a corrupted one of those Gobans.
Yeah, he's a little messed up.
I believe. But yeah, there's just like a ton of lore going on. Yeah, the Armorvores. I was kind of hoping we'd see an Armorvore tonight because it's been a while since anybody's done an Armorvore. You might still be able to get one on God Beast. Hold on. But it's bundled in with other stuff. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not there. I don't think it's there anymore. Oh yeah, it is right here. Okay, so if you go to God Beast and
one of
you
those
look
guys.
for Insectoid Mantivore DX Deluxe. Now it's $50, but it's it's 2+ figures. But you do get an Armorvore, which is kind of like their Battle Beasts looking guys.
Is that what this guy was?
Hold on, let me put you big.
Is that?
Nope, he's different. He's
Okay.
he's Rokon Mighty Maniacs.
Oh, okay.
The Battle Beasts are a little bit smaller than that. Battle Beasts, the Armorvores. But yeah, right now, I think if you want an Armorvore, that's your best way to get it. And you get it. Oops, there we go. You get it by getting this guy and this guy. And then you can combine them into this guy. And this little sidekick.
Nice.
Yeah, the people are, and that's another one. I said these little guys, the Kraboths were super popular for people to like collect like crazy and like just have just a whole shelf of just all Kraboths. People do the same with the Armorvores. People love them. Which is, you'd think they would be doing more.
Cool.
All right, I think we should wrap it up. I just want to again thank Dan White. Birds in Boxes. Go follow him on Instagram. Birds in Boxes, all one word. Just awesome artist. In a world of AI art where everybody's just like flooding your shit with AI art, and it just feels like there's this dilution of just, I don't know, just lazy. I don't want to call it lazy. It's just not art, in my opinion. Like, it's just people just prompting this thing to do this thing, and it's like it's kind of feels like it's like squeezing out from the center. It's squeezing the artists who are doing stuff with their hands, and it's just good to see.
Totally.
So you got to put those people front and center. You got to more actively try to do that if you want to see them. And yeah, again, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, handcraft gotta stay real. Handcraft, yeah. And I think I got all the super chats and everything. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I guess the next one will be, what would it be? June 5th, 12th. No, yeah, the 12th. I think the next one will be June 12th for us. All right, Chris, good to see you. Glad you were able to make it today.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a great time, guys.
All right. Bye, everybody. Until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me into the door.